No, I know. Two teams going in absolutely the opposite directions early in the season in the Western Canadian Baseball League. Meet tonight here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. Good evening, Les Lazaruk with you. It's the Saskatoon Berries, winners of 9 straight, taking on the Weyburn Beavers, who have lost 7 in a row and are finishing up a long road trip here tonight at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. The Berries, with a record of 24 wins, 3 losses. They lead the East Division of the Western Canadian Baseball League by 6.5 games over Medicine Hat. Again, the Berries have won 9 straight. They're 9-1 in their last 10 games. A perfect 15-0 here at the Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field, and 2-1 in the season series against Weyburn. The Beavers won the very first meeting of the season between these two teams back on opening night by a score of 9-0 at Tom Lang Field in Weyburn. Ready to throw the opening pitch for the Berries is Adam Beeman, making his first start of the season, and the first pitch at 7:01 is up high, ball 1. So we are underway. Beavers with a record of 7 wins and 20 losses. They're in 5th place in the East Division. Alex Alva lifts this one towards shortstop and going to be caught by Nathan Houston and one away. Ryan Doffney, the designated hitter, coming up. Mentioned the Beavers have lost 7 in a row, 2-8 in their last 10 games. They're 1-12 on the road this year. Their last win was on the 24th of June when they beat Medicine Hat back in Weyburn by a score of 3-2. Doffney takes the first pitch up high, ball 1, as called by home plate umpire Blake Tilley. Justin Anderson's the first base umpire. Phil McGee is the crew chief tonight on the 3-man crew, and he is down the third base line. Beeman's pitch up high, 2-0. Adam Beeman from right here in Saskatoon. Again, one of 5 guys on the team that call Saskatoon home. Foul back to the screen. Doffney taking a good rip at a 2-0 pitch. 2 balls, 1 strike. Ian Heck, the first baseman, on deck. Beeman goes to school at Central Arizona College in Coolidge, Arizona. Swing and a miss, strike 2 on Ryan Doffney. Beeman, 6'4", 220 pounds, coming off his freshman year at Central Arizona College. 2-2 pitch, fouled over top of the first base bleachers. Count holds at 2-2 with 1 away here in the top of the first inning. Beeman's in his second year with the Berries, was 2-0 last year with a 5.84 earned run average. As that one is inside, 3-2. So a full count now on Ryan Doffney, who hits .322 on the year. 37 hits in 115 at-bats. He's tied for 3rd in the WCBL for most at-bats. 3-2 pitch. Doffney crouches down, exaggerating, looking for the walk, and when Beeman put it in a spot where he could foul it off, he did so. So he stays alive at 3-2. Crouches down again. Adam Beeman with a 3-2 delivery. Foul back to the screen. Daphne working him hard here. Daphne with 37 hits and 115 at-bats as mentioned. 2 home runs and 24 RBI. He's 8th in the league in runs batted in. A 4-year veteran. And again, just stuck the bat out and spoiled it. That's 9 pitches into this at-bat for Ryan Daphne against Adam Beeman, who did start 4 times for Central Arizona College this past winter in his freshman year. And now ball 4 as that'll bounce away from the starting catcher tonight, Ethan Menard, and a 10-pitch walk allows Daphne to advance to first, brings up the first baseman, Ian Heck. Heck hitting .354, 40 hits in 113 at-bats. That 40 hits is tied for 5th most in the WCBL. Dangerous hitter, Ian Heck. Leads the Weyburn Beavers in home runs with 4. They've only hit 20 as a team. Swing and a miss at the first pitch from Beeman, strike 1. Ian Heck from Antelope, California, coming off his senior year at York University. Daphne inching away from the bag at first, trying to get a secondary lead. That one's a called strike by Blake Tilley. Quickly Beeman up 2 strikes on Ian Heck. Nicely underway on a beautiful evening here in Saskatoon. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Beeman retires Heck on 3 pitches. So kind of the opposite between Daphne and Heck. Daphne went 10 pitches, drew a walk. Heck strikes out on 3 straight. Brings up the left fielder Noah Brooks. .330 hitter. 34 hits and 130 at-bats. Leads the team in walks with 19. Has 3 home runs and 20 runs batted in. Takes a called strike as Beeman seems to have found the groove here. Foul back to the screen. 2 strikes on Noah Brooks. Well, they haven't updated the local conditions on the Environment Canada site. 29 degrees at 6 o'clock. West-southwest wind gusting to 32 kilometers per hour. Menard trying to freeze it for home plate umpire Tilley to see, and not biting for that. It's ball 1, 1-2. Partly cloudy skies. No threat of showers, thunderstorms, anything like that in the forecast, as that one low and away, ball 2, 2-2. Third baseman Trevor Dale, who actually he leads the Beavers in home runs, not Ian Heck. Dale has 6 and is actually among the league leaders, 3rd in fact in home runs. Brooks fouls that off, stays alive at 2-2. Defensively for the Berries tonight, around the outfield, in right is Evan Janner. Or actually, it's Ethan Murdoch in right. Evan Janner's in center field tonight as Carter Beck gets the night off, at least from starting. There goes Daphne on the move. Menard's throw down and throw taken by Medina, but he had to kind of stab at it, and when he did so, Daphne able to steal on what is ball 3. So a full count with 2 away here in the top of the first inning. And a full count on Noah Brooks. Adam Beeman, 3-2 pitch is up high. That's ball 4. So 2 walks in the inning. Runners on first and second with 2 away for Weyburn. And up comes the third baseman, Trevor Dale. As I mentioned, 6 home runs for him, 3rd most in the WCBL, 15 RBI. Dale hitting .302, 29 hits in 96 at-bats. He has also struck out 32 times in the season. Leads the Beavers in that dubious department. Beeman's first pitch is outside, ball 1. For Adam Beeman, this is his seventh appearance of the season now. Daphne wandering off second. Swing and a miss, strike 1 on Trevor Dale. 1 ball, 1 strike. Beeman last pitched on Sunday in Medicine Hat in relief through 1 inning. Struck out 3, walked 1. As the Berries beat the Mavericks 12-6 that day. Part of their 9-game winning streak. Swing and a miss on an off-speed breaking pitch. 1-2 now. Beeman ahead on the count. 1-2. He has a win to his credit and a 3.48 earned run average. 10 1/3 innings pitched. He's allowed 12 hits, 4 runs, all earned. Struck out 11 and walked 7. 1-2 pitch. Swung and missed, strike 3. 2 strikeouts, 2 walks in the inning. And a third out on a pop-out to start the ball game off. Weyburn, no runs on no hits. No Berries errors. 2 runners left on base. After a half an inning, it's the Weyburn Beavers nothing, and the Saskatoon Berries coming to bat as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Need a different writer. Need a different writer. Mm-hmm. Ryan Meyer is the starting pitcher tonight for the Weyburn Beavers. Right-hander out of Phoenix, Arizona, coming off his senior season at Central Baptist College. 6'1", 190 pounds. Meyer is making his 6th start of the year. He has yet to appear out of the bullpen. Has 3 losses. A 10.50 earned run average. Pitched 18 innings, allowed 24 hits, 24 runs, 21 of those earned, 20 strikeouts, and 15 walks for Ryan Meyer as he'll face Ethan Menard leading off and is the catcher tonight for the Berries. First pitch up high, ball 1. Menard doesn't have enough plate appearances yet to qualify for the batting average lead in the WCBL as he takes ball 2. Hitting .429, 27 hits and 63 at-bats. Back to the mound, off the pitcher's leg. Meyer, he has to hustle over, gets to it, and underhands in time to the first baseman Heck for the first out. Menard one hops it back to Ryan Meyer, who waves off the coach and the umpire. He just says, I'm fine. Let me pitch. I'm okay. Blake Tilley, the home plate umpire, checking on him. The coach for the Beavers checking on him. He says, I'm fine. I'm good. Head coach Cam Williams. Well, they want him to take a couple of warm-up tosses just to make sure he's all right. So he says, fine. If warm-up pitch he threw went all the way back to the backstop. Matters not. Evan Janner will bat second tonight for the Berries. Last night's 10th inning hero with the base hit to left center field that brought in Mason Rell, who was the courtesy runner at second base with the winning run as the Berries beat Moose Jaw 8-7. Janner hitting .302. Imagine he went 0 for 20 to start the season. Takes a first pitch strike from Ryan Meyer. Another off-speed pitch. This one set to be down low, 1-1. Inside, 2 balls, 1 strike. Janner attends the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley as he takes a big cut at that one and misses, 2-2. Oh for 20 to start, 13 for 23 since. And that one bounces in. That's ball 3 and a full count. Evan Janner is actually on a 8-game hitting streak. All of his home runs, 2, and all of his RBIs have come in that streak as he takes ball 4 low on a breaking pitch. And so with 1 away, the Berries have a man on base. It'll bring up shortstop Nathan Houston. Melville product hitting .344, 33 hits in 96 at-bats, 20 runs batted in. He's on a 10-game hitting streak during which he's hit .450. 18 hits and 40 at-bats. Houston, first pitch swinging, finds the hole between short and third. Trevor Dale, the third baseman, dove to his left but could not knock the ball down. Janner stops at second. There's the first base hit of the game. As first pitch swinging, Nathan Houston collects his 34th hit of the year and extends that hitting streak to 11 games. First and second with 1 away, designated hitter Balin Sorensen getting a night off from squatting down behind the plate all night long, catching Barry's pitchers. That's Ethan Menard's job tonight. Sorensen looks at the first pitch, low, ball 1. From Ryan Meyer. Sorensen hitting .294, 25 hits and 86 at-bats. Again, a breaking pitch down low, bounced in, blocked by the catcher, Rob Gurney, 2-0 the count. It's a long road trip for Weyburn. They went out west, played the 3 West Division teams in Alberta that they had to go visit this season, all in one fell swoop, and now finishing it off here. As that's up high, breaking ball, 3-0 to Sorensen. First and second, no, 1 away. 3-2 pitch, or 3-0 pitch is ball 4. Low, according to home plate umpire Tilly. Bases are loaded with 1 away as Janner moves up to third, Houston to second, and Sorensen with the free pass. And here comes ABM Medina, who's on a 12-game hitting streak. Hitting .408, 6th in the WCBL in batting average. He has enough plate appearances to qualify. 29 hits and 71 at-bats, 2 home runs and 18 RBIs. During the hitting streak, Medina 21 for 51 with a home run and 7 RBI. And the first pitch hits him on the right arm. Luckily, he wears a pad there. So a hit batsman, that's a painful RBI for Medina. His 19th of the season. The bases stay loaded. And Ethan Murdoch coming to the plate. Murdoch 4 for 17 in his last 4 games, a single hit in each of those 4 games. So a 4-game hitting streak as he looks at a breaking pitch for a strike. Again, Murdoch from Swift Current. Hitting .279, 24 for 86. Low and away, ball 1, 1-1. The stats say 3 home runs and 16 RBIs, but again, there's that missing game sheet that's being worked on from the 22-4 victory in June in Moose Jaw. Called strike, 1-2 on Murdoch. So that game stats are not included right now. Murdoch had 2 home runs that game in Moose Jaw. So he's up to 5 actually. But for the time being, officially he's at 3 until such time as that gets all fixed up. Hit on the ground and a big hop off the edge of the infield grass into center field. Coming in to score a second run on that is Balin Sorensen from second base. Nathan Houston scores in front of him. Medina ends up on third, and a 2-run bad hop single for Ethan Murdoch to make it 3-0 for the Berries. First and third with 1 out. There's a Cairns Field hop, a friendly hop for the home team. Pitch to Corey Waters is up high, ball 1. Waters on the ground at short. Gloved to second for 1, over to first in time, double play. And that'll cut off the inning. Corey Waters bouncing into a 6-4-3 double play to end the inning. But the Berries get off to a good start. 3 runs on 2 hits. No Weyburn errors. And 1 runner left on base. After 1 inning, it is the Saskatoon Berries 3 and the Weyburn Beavers 0, as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Back for the top of the second inning, Adam Beeman with a long first. Didn't give up a run, but he unofficially threw 26 pitches to 5 batters. Couple of walks, couple of strikeouts. Those are long at-bats and a lot of pitches usually in those at-bats. So we'll see what kind of pitch count Joe Carnahan has him on tonight, but he'll face the number 6, 7, and 8 hitters in the Weyburn lineup here in the top of the second inning, those being Zach Tanabe, the shortstop, who started that last double play, the center fielder Chet McDaniel, and the catcher Rob Gurney. Tanabe hitting .214 with 1 home run and 9 RBI. 18 for 84 on the year. First pitch by Beeman to him is upstairs, ball 1. Fouled off, 1-1 the count. Mentioned that Weyburn schedule. They're finishing off this road trip tonight here in Saskatoon. First they were in Okotoks. First game wasn't bad. They lost 6-5 to the Dogs. Lifted in the air, but not very far. Was in on the hands. And a little pop fly caught in behind second base by second baseman Abiam Medina for the first out. Chet McDaniel coming to the plate. But from there, the Beavers gave up at least 10 runs every game. Fell 12-2 to Okotoks, then 10-5 and 13-8 in Brooks, and then 13-5 and 14-10 in Lethbridge. Called strike 1 on Chet McDaniel, the center fielder for the Weyburn Beavers. McDaniel hitting .250, 18 hits and 72 at-bats. Fouls back to the screen, quickly beaming up on him, 2 strikes. In other words, during the road trip, the Beavers have been outscored 68-35 in 6 games so far. Appeal at first on the check swing by McDaniel, not granted, so it's ball 1-2. And on the 7-game losing streak, the Beavers have been outscored 75-38, so it's been a rough go for them here of recent. 1-2 pitch inside, 2-2. Cooper Westland's at third base tonight for the Berries. Nathan Houston at short, Abian Medina at second, Corey Waters at first. 2-2 pitch, again inside, just, and a full count now on Chet McDaniel with Rob Gurney, the catcher, on deck. And ball 4. So McDaniel draws a walk. Third one issued already by Adam Beeman in this game. McDaniel on base. Center fielder, you got to expect he's got some pretty good wheels and can steal bases. He has 5 steals. Been caught once. Brings up Rob Gurney, the catcher, who's hitting 169. 10 hits and 59 at-bats, a home run and 4 RBI. Gurney from Campbell River, BC. And a first pitch strike on the outside corner. Gurney attended school at the University of Pikeville, just finished his junior year, so he's got another one to come. He's in his 3rd season with the Weyburn Beavers. McDaniel twitching at first. And a big swing and a miss by Gurney on a high pitch up around the shoulders almost, and 2 strikes again quickly on the batter for Beeman. He had 2 strikes on McDaniel and then lost him. Let's see what he's able to do with Rob Gurney as the right fielder Luke Malzewski is on deck. Breaking pitch down low and away, 1-2. Top of the 2nd inning here in Saskatoon at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. The Berries off to a 3-0 lead. Adam Beeman working away here. 1-2 pitch. Hit in the air. Center field. Evan Janner backed up a couple of steps. Now comes in, makes the catch. McDaniel will retreat back to first base, and there's 2 away. And Luke Malzewski, the right fielder, up. Malzewski, listed as an infielder and has played some second base. Saw that back earlier when these teams met last time they were here for games on the 14th and 15th of June. Called strike on the first pitch to the product of Seattle, Washington. Malzewski coming off his sophomore year at Whitman College, hitting .226. Beeman's 1 strike pitch, up high, ball 1. 12 for 53 for Malzewski, 3 runs batted in. McDaniel at first, doesn't go, breaking pitch in there for a strike, 1-2. Beeman can finish off the inning here with a strike. Right-handed hitting Luke Malzewski ready. Pitch up high. Looked like a slider that wasn't down low enough. 2 balls, 2 strikes. McDaniel drew his 10th walk of the year here in the inning. Malzewski fouls that off and stays alive at 2-2. Barry sent 7 men to the plate in the bottom of the 1st inning, so Cooper Westland, Jalen Freeman, and back to Ethan Menard in the 2nd inning for the Berries. 2-2 pitch from Beeman. Down and away. Full count. Adam Beeman has gone full for a 4th time. all 3 previous times he walked the batter on a 3-2 pitch. Let's see if he can change the script here. McDaniel takes off. That's up high, ball 4. Script is not flipped. And we have 2 men on based on walks. So to the top of the order for Alex Alva, second baseman for Weyburn, who popped out to the shortstop Nathan Houston to start the game back about 26, 27 minutes ago. Left-handed hitting second baseman from Littleton, Colorado, coming off his senior year at the University of Jamestown. Came into the game hitting .271. Now 26 for 87, whatever that computes to. First pitch swinging, hits a fly ball into right field, and that's over the head of Ethan Murdoch and off the fence. 1 run in. They'll hold up the runner coming to third base, Luke Malzewski. He's held at third, and a double for Alex Alva, and an RBI to make it 3-1 as McDaniel scores from second. That was first pitch swinging. Alva got what he wanted. So second and third with 2 away. And Ryan Doffney, who walked his first time up, 10 pitches for Doffney in that at-bat. And already we're seeing some stretching going on down the right field line in the Berries bullpen. Beeman's first pitch hit in the air to right field. Murdoch coming over into right center field. This one is carrying, and he can't catch it. Off the wall, in to score is Alex Alva along with Luke Malzewski, and we're tied up at 3-3. Doffney with a high drive that got up in the wind, and it kept carrying and carrying to right center field, and Murdoch couldn't make the catch. So 3-3 the score. And now the question becomes double or error. I would say double myself. And I'm getting nods of agreement. That's scary if I'm going to be the scorekeeper, but just in my mind, and we had this discussion last night, if you're got a pitcher pitching, you want that to be an error because the runs become earned when it's called a hit. But really, when you consider what they do at the major league level when it comes to scoring, that type of a play guaranteed is a hit, not an error. Pitch down low to Ian Heck, blocked by Ethan Menard, and quickly Heck is up 2-0 on Adam Beeman. With this game tied up, and Ryan Doffney at second base. So back-to-back doubles by the top 2 hitters in the lineup for Weyburn after Beeman got 2 out. That's outside, ball 3, 3-0. And warming up down the right field line now for the Berries is Matthias Tronson. That's ball 4. Heck to first. That's 4 walks surrendered by, actually 5 walks now surrendered by Adam Beeman. And here comes Joe Carnahan out for a discussion. And he's taking a very slow walk so as to allow Tronson as much time as he can to get warmed up and be ready to come in. We're tied up now at 3-3 in this game. Berries with 3 in the bottom of the first inning, but Weyburn has responded with 3 in the top of the second. Couple of walks, a couple of doubles, and now another walk. And Beeman will get a chance to pitch to Noah Brooks, but it might be the last batter he gets. We'll see. Brooks walked his first time up. Beeman checks the runners. Hit in the air to center field. Coming on is Evan Jannery. He'll make the catch, and that ends the inning. Well tagged by Brooks to straightaway center, but That line drive held up in the air just long enough for Janner to get under it and make the catch. 3 runs for Weyburn in the top of the second inning on 2 hits. There were no Barry's errors and 2 runners left on base. After an inning and a half, we're tied up at 3-3 between the Weyburn Beavers and the Saskatoon Berries as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Cooper Westland, Jalen Freeman, and Ethan Menard to bat for the Berries in the bottom of the second inning against third-year veteran pitcher for the Weyburn Beavers, Ryan Meyer. Mentioned Meyer's 0-3 this year with a 10.50 earned run average. From Phoenix, Arizona, back in 2023, he was 1-2 in 4 appearances with 3 starts and a 3.85 earned run average. His first pitch to Cooper Westland, who showed bunt, is taken for a strike. Last season in 9 starts with the Beavers, Meyer was 1-7 with a 7.86 earned run average. As he pours in another strike, and it's 2 strikes quickly on Cooper Westland here, leading off the bottom of the second inning. Meyer, 2-strike pitch. Westland hits this one in the air down the right field line. That will get in there, is diving and unable to get it. Ball will roll to the fence. Westland's around second and heading for third. The throw back into the infield. Westland turns at third, and he'll hold there with a stand-up triple. Ball was slicing away from the right fielder, Luke Malzewski, and I think the infielder in him probably came out there. He thought he could make the catch and made a calculated error in judgment, diving for it, as it was still a good 3-4 feet out of his reach in the dive. And the ball all the way to the fence rolling, and Westland ends up on third base. Now Jalen Freeman up, takes the first pitch strike from Ryan Meyer. Matthias Tronson continues to throw down the right field line in the Berries bullpen. That pitch up high to Freeman, 1-1. Jalen hitting .278. 20 hits and 79 at-bats. 13 runs batted in. Breaking ball in there for a strike. Saw Jalen earlier on. Apologize for calling him Jamal, and Jalen gets one over top of the head of the shortstop. Tanabe into center field. A base hit and an RBI, and the Berries retake the lead at 4-3. I apologize to Jalen for calling him Jamal a few times, and he just laughed it off and said, hey, at least you're saying the first name of the J, not something else entirely. So Ethan Menard up. He bounced back to the pitcher his first time up. First pitch from Myers inside, ball 1. Freeman's 14th run batted in extends his hitting streak to 6 games. Now hitting .350 in that time for the Houston, Texas product. He's on first. Menard gets this one in the air to center. Going back and looking up, and that you can kiss that baby goodbye. 8th home run of the season for Ethan Menard. Straightaway center field, over 400 feet on that one. As the ball got up in the air, and of course that wind, the way it's blowing tonight here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field, from the west at 34 kilometers per hour. That's basically right up in the jet stream for him. And that makes it 6-3 now for the Berries, as Menard with a 2-run homer. 8th home run of the season. Menard now with 23 runs batted in. And Evan Janner coming to the plate. Pitch up and away, ball 1. And now we have action down the left field line in the Weyburn bullpen. Outside, ball 2. Warming up down the left field line is Jared Eifler, right-handed reliever. Janner fouls it off. That's in the stands, a nice catch. Little juggle, but still caught by a fan in the top row in Section E, about 3 seats in from where we are. Everybody's fine. 2-1 count. Pitch bounced in. 3-1 now on Evan Janner, who walked and scored back in the first inning. Nathan Houston on deck. Myers' pitch bounces in and gets away from the catcher Gurney. But that's a walk anyway, so Janner makes his way to first. That's 2 walks for him on the night, and Nathan Houston coming up. Houston singled his first time up. And Cam Williams, the head coach of the Weyburn Beavers, coming out to chat with Ryan Meyer and maybe allow for Jared Eifler to get himself warmed up. That is Eifler, E-I-F-L-E-R, not E-L-F-E-E-R. Although I'm just going to check. The print on that is not the best. Let's have a look and see. Doesn't matter, he's not coming in just yet. As Meyer, and it is E-I-F-L-E-R, who's only made 1 appearance so far this year, and we'll get probably an opportunity here soon. So Evan Janner on first, Nathan Houston now to the plate. Nobody out in the bottom of the 6th inning. Another 3 spot on the board right now for the Berries. First pitch to Houston, down low, ball 1. Matthias Tronson has stopped throwing down the right field line for the Berries. There goes Janner heading to second. The throw down and safe. Second baseman, or the shortstop, Tanabe. No, that is the second baseman, Alva, who took the throw, covering the bag. Slapped a tag on him, but it was up on the leg, and that foot got into the bag. So Janner with a steal. And he's heading for third now. The throw down is up high. He'll slide underneath that. Another strike called on Houston. He's down 1 ball, 2 strikes, while Janner has stolen a couple of bases and now has 10 for the season. Still nobody out. Houston now gearing up in the plate area. Pitch down low, breaking ball from Ryan Meyer, 2-2. Janner with a secondary lead down the line. The pitch blocked by Gurney at home plate as he was down low, and a full count to Nathan Houston. The question now for Joe Carnahan is, what kind of a pitch count do you have Adam Beeman on? He's been strictly out of the bullpen and getting a start here tonight. Up high, ball 4. Another walk. And runners on first and third, and that's going to be it for Ryan Myers. Cam Williams heads his way out of the dugout and up toward the mound. 5 batters into the bottom of the 2nd inning, nobody out. And runners on first and third, and a new pitcher into the ball game for the Weyburn Beavers. And if one was to be truthful about this, Pitching has been an issue for the Weyburn Beavers this season. Their team ERA coming into tonight, 7.54, which is 11th in the league. They allow opponents to hit .316 against them. That's 11th out of 12 teams. Walks and hits per innings pitched is 1.88. So basically 2 guys per inning are getting on base, which is 11th in the league. And like I say, the last 5 games of this road trip, they've given up 10 or more runs to the opponent. So pitching an issue for Cam Williams and the Weyburn Beavers as they try and snap out of it. Maybe home cooking will do it for them, but right now they're down 6-3, and the starting pitcher lasts 1 inning plus 5 batters, and the reliever coming in is Jared Eifler. And as I mentioned earlier on, Eifler has only made 1 appearance so far this season. He's from Calgary, coming off his senior year at Bellevue University in Washington State. 6'4", 210-pound right-hander. Eifler, in his 1 appearance, gave up 3 hits, 4 runs, all earned. That earned run average not very pretty at 36 even. But again, only 1 game pitched and only 1 inning pitched, so a few outs in a matter without giving up any runs, and that ERA goes down significantly. Jared Eifler will face Balin Sorensen, the Berries' designated hitter tonight. A.B.M. Medina, Ethan Murdoch waiting in the wings for a chance here to hit in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Already the 2nd appearance. There's runners on 1st and 3rd, and 3 runs in. Blake Dilly says, "Are you ready to go?" Yep. Okay. Sweep off the plate with the whisk. And here comes Sorensen, who walked his first time up and eventually scored. Sorensen from Monroe, Louisiana. Eifler digs in, ready to deliver. Holds on, though, for quite a while. Long look. And then a breaking pitch stays up high, ball 1. I think he was looking at the runner at first, Nathan Houston, who's quite likely to take off. Well, a couple of steps he took and then stopped up. Pitch was inside, ball 2. 2-0 to Sorensen, who played at Southeastern Louisiana this past year in his senior season. Hit .304. 2-0 pitch coming to the DH. Breaking ball in for a strike. Sorensen thought maybe at 2-0 he'd get a fastball that he could drive, and got a breaking pitch instead. He might be looking for fastball. See if Eifler gives in. Now a toss over to first. Oh, that was close. Ian Heck slapped a tag on. And the first base umpire, Justin Anderson, said safe as Houston dove back. That was close. Eifler with a good move. Again, 2-1. Eifler to the plate. Breaking pitch. This one hit in the air. Left field. It's going back, and it is gone. That one kept on carrying, and it clears the fence. 2 home runs in the inning. That one's a 3-1 shot for Balin Sorensen, and it's now 9-3 for the Saskatoon Berries. Two home runs in the inning for Saskatoon. Still nobody out here in the bottom of the 2nd. A.B. Medina to the plate. hit by a pitch last inning, which brought in a run because it came with the bases loaded. Medina on the ground, wide of first base, foul, strike one. Sorensen got that one and hit it over the left field fence, probably around the 360-foot range. Menard hit one over 400 feet to straightaway center earlier, 3 batters earlier. One strike here on Medina. And that is outside, ball one. Nobody on base. 1-1 count. This one's fouled off. And it's 1-2. Eifler ahead 1-2 on A.B. and Medina. A couple of home runs for him, 18 RBI. For Sorensen, that's his second home run of the season. Ups his RBI total to 17. Medina fouls that off, stays alive against Jared Eifler, 1-2. This is a long half inning. They haven't gotten an out yet. This is the 7th batter for the Berries this inning. They will bat around for sure. Eifler with a 1-2 pitch again. Coming to A.B. and Medina. Down and in, 2-2. Three in the bottom of the first, 3 in the top of the first, 6 now here in the bottom of the second. We're going to see a few runs here tonight from the looks of it. Medina on the ground, taken at first by Ian Heck. He'll take the play himself, and there's one away. Ethan Murdoch, the right fielder, now up. Singled and drove in a couple of runs back in the first inning. Mentioned before, Murdoch played for his hometown Swift Current 57s back in 2023 in this league. 4 home runs, 30 RBI, hit .333 that summer. At Marshall University this past season, hit .261 with 10 home runs and 40 RBI. Low and away from Eifler, ball one. Corey Waters on deck. Murdoch now on a 5-game hitting streak thanks to that first inning single. Couple of RBI getting him to 18 for the year. Unofficially. This one on the ground towards third. Fielded by Trevor Dale. Throw to first in time. 2 away. So Corey Waters, who hit into a inning-ending double play to finish off the first inning, gets to be the 9th hitter to face the Weyburn Beavers. Waters came into the game hitting .329, but again, 4 home runs. He hit one that night in Moose Jaw as well as he takes a curveball for a strike. He's actually got 5 homers for the season. Saskatoon product is playing first base tonight, has done some DHing this year. Down low with a breaking pitch from Jared Eifler, ball one. Waters has not been asked to pitch this season, has not needed to. Although Turner Zadunich did pitch last night. Waters hits this one high and deep. And it is up, up, and away. 10-3, Berries with the lead. Waters with his official 5th home run, but it's actually his 6th of the year. It's a solo shot to left center field. And as I say, it is 10-3 now for the Berries. Third home run of the inning for Saskatoon. 2 away here. 3 home runs out of 5 hits in the inning for the Berries. 10 runs on 7 hits so far for Saskatoon in this ball game. And Cooper Westland to the plate now. Eifler's pitch on the inside corner for a strike. Westland hits this one in the air, carrying out to the center fielder Chet McDaniel. He'll make the catch, and that's the end of the inning. But a big one for the Berries. 3 home runs. 7 runs for the Berries on 5 hits. No errors for the Weyburn Beavers, and nobody left on base. After 2 complete, it's Saskatoon 10, Weyburn 3, as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. So we do have a, oh no, it is Adam Beeman still, is it not? No, it's not. It is Matthias Tronson coming on to pitch for the Berries after 2 innings pitched from Adam Beeman to start the game tonight. So Tronson into the ball game. Toronto product. Matthias Tronson into the game for the Berries. He'll be making his 5th appearance of the season, 3rd time out of the bullpen. No record, a 9.00 earned run average, has thrown 7 innings, 8 hits, 8 runs, 7 earned, struck out 11 and walked 6 so far. Trevor Dale will lead it off for Weyburn in the top of the 3rd inning. Dale struck out back in the 1st against Adam Beeman. First pitch from Tronson fouled off, and strike 1. Tronson's from Toronto. Down low, ball 1, 1-1. Coming off his sophomore year at Eastern New Mexico University. Teammate of fellow bullpen guy Clavert Martina, as well as left fielder Jalen Freeman, as that's fouled back to the screen. 1-2 the count. One-two pitch, bounced in. 2-2 to count. Tronson pitched in 2023 at Northeastern Oklahoma A&M, and this past year at Eastern New Mexico. 1-2 pitch, foul back to the screen. Trevor Dale stays alive at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So both starting pitchers in the game are out. Adam Beeman, 2 innings for the Berries. Ryan Meyer, an inning plus. Matthias Tronson now in for Saskatoon, and Jared Eifler in the game. As Dale on the ground, 2 hopper, Houston up with it. Throw on to first in time. Just nips Dale at the bag, but 1 away. Zach Tanabe, the shortstop, coming up. Tanabe popped out to second base, leading off the top of the second inning for Weyburn. Tanabe now 2 for 13 in the season series against the Saskatoon Berries. This is the 4th meeting. Berries with 2 wins out of 3 so far. First pitch fouled off and landed on top of the building, over top of the suite on the other side from us, and then rolled off because everything is sloped on that roof. 1 strike, and on the inside corner for strike 2 on Zach Tanabe. Center fielder Chet McDaniel on deck. Matthias Tronson delivers an 0-2 pitch. Fouled off. Tanabe stays alive. (10-3) Saskatoon leads, and we're only in the top of the 3rd inning. That one is a breaking pitch outside. Ball 1, 1-2. At this pace, the Berries would score 45 runs tonight if they were to bat in the 9th inning. Check swing, and they're going to call it out. Strike 3 called on the appeal down to first base, and the umpire Justin Anderson. Strikeout for Tronson. 2 out now in the top of the 3rd inning, and up comes the center fielder Chet McDaniel, who walked and scored back in the 2nd. Tronson delivers, and down at the knees for a strike. Top of the 3rd inning. We're already an hour into the ball game. Swing and a miss. Got a piece of it with the tip, but held on to by Ethan Menard. 2 strikes quickly on Chet McDaniel. 1 for 6 in the season series against the Berries. Strike 3 called, and that's it. 3 up, 3 down. First 3 up, 3 down inning we've had in this ball game. No runs, no hits for Weyburn in the top of the 3rd inning. No Berries errors, nobody left on base. After 2.5, Saskatoon 10 and Weyburn 3 as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Jared Eifler back out in the mound for Weyburn in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Saskatoon Berries will send up the number 9 hitter Jalen Freeman, and then to the top of the order, Ethan Menard and Evan Janner guaranteed to hit in this inning, each getting a 3rd plate appearance in as many innings. No, they just change up the bat catcher because the catcher made the last out, or he was on deck, so he had to get his equipment first before he could come back out. So a backup catcher was catching the pitcher just now. And Eifler will get a couple of more tosses. Well, one more toss as the throw will go down, and we'll be underway here shortly. Still mainly sunny skies in Saskatoon on this Thursday evening. 24 degrees Celsius. Winds out of the west-northwest gusting to 35 kilometers per hour. We've had a few wind-aided balls in the air. 3 home runs for the Berries. Couple of doubles by the Weyburn Beavers. Here's Jalen Freeman, who singled and drove in a run and scored on the Ethan Menard home run and in behind him. First pitch was inside to the backstop, ball 1. Eifler peers in. Freeman on the ground. That'll get between short and third. And into left field, a base hit. Jalen Freeman 2 for 2 tonight. Here comes Ethan Menard, who hit a 2-run home run his last time up, his 8th of the season. Freeman on first. I think the Berries might just be doing some station-to-station stuff here with a 7-run lead already. Menard first pitch swinging, hits it foul in the air, and it'll go right at the top of the backstop screen, which is pretty high here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. Strike 1. Menard has finished off his senior year at the University of Texas at Tyler. But he played 2 years at Baton Rouge Community College first before playing the last 2 at U of T and Tyler. Down low, 1-1. Freeman at first. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Down low, 2-1. Evan Janner, the center fielder, is on deck. Nathan Houston in the hole. Jared Eifler. Now we'll throw back, and they've got him picked off. Freeman was dancing around, and Eifler able to catch him leaning towards second, was able to pick him off. So 1 away on a pretty good move there by Eifler. 2-1 the count on Ethan Menard. Eifler's pitch. Down low, ball 3, 3-1. It's a nice night on a Thursday. That's up high, ball 4. Menard draws a walk. Walks for the 7th time this season. And now Evan Janner to the plate. Janner attends the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley, based in Brownsville, Texas. And they have a new teammate that's just joined the team. I thought the Berries were done with bringing in players, but they do have a new catcher join the group. We'll tell you about him in a moment as Janner takes a called strike. That one now is ball 1, 1-1. Janner has walked twice and scored twice and has a couple of stolen bases. Sounds like a pretty good night's work, and it's only the third inning. He's been up twice already. Now a toss over to check on Menard. Eifler's got a good move. I don't think the boys need to be worrying about stealing bases or taking too big of a lead. Just ask Jalen Freeman what happened to him a few moments ago. Again, a toss over. Trying to catch him sleeping. Eifler with a grin as he gets the ball back to him. One pitch. Swing on miss. 1-2 the count on Evan Janner. Janner at Rio Grande Valley this past season had 3 home runs and 8 RBI and hit .271 in 30 games. Can play any of the 3 outfield positions. Breaking pitch inside. 2-2. He's 20 years old, is Evan Janner. Two pitch upcoming to him from Jared Eifler, who's hanging on to that ball for a long time. Bounces one in. Good stop by Rob Gurney, and we have a full count. Eifler facing his 7th batter since coming on in relief of Ryan Meyer. Served up a couple of home runs already. Swing and a miss, and strike 3. First strikeout for Eifler. And 2 away here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. It'll bring up Nathan Houston. Singled and scored in the 1st inning, walked and scored in the 2nd inning. He and Janner were on base when Balin Sorensen, who's on deck, hit his 3-run homer back in the 2nd inning. Again, a check over at first on Menard. Ethan's been known to take off and steal bases. He has 4 already this year. Caught once. Berries as a team actually do love to run, as that one's a ball down low, ball 1. As a team, they came into tonight with 65 stolen bases. Tack on a few more already tonight. They're 2nd in the league only to Okotoks. Houston with a line shot into center field. That one will drop in front of Chet McDaniel. Menard around 2nd. Heading for 3rd. The ball thrown back into the shortstop, Zach Tanabe. And there'll be runners on 1st and 3rd with 2 away, as that is hit number 9 for the Berries on the night. First and 3rd with 2 away, and here's Balin Sorensen, who hit the 3-run homer last inning. Walked and scored in the 1st. Berries DH, clubbing his 2nd home run of the season last inning. Facing Eifler for a 2nd time. He was the first man Eifler faced coming out of the bullpen after Ryan Meyer was taken out of the game in his favor. Down low, ball 1. Starting to see more activity now down the left field line in the Weyburn bullpen. A lefty is up throwing now. A check on Nathan Houston at first. Ty Thompson out of Regina will start to throw, coming off his sophomore year at College of the Desert. Sorensen line drive, and that's into the bullpen area and made the lefty pitcher warming up, Thompson, turn and take notice. Strike 1 on Sorensen, 1-1 the count. Bottom of the 3rd inning, 10-3, Berries with the lead. ABM Medina's on deck. Bounced in, blocked by Gurney. Nobody can advance. 2-1 the count on Sorensen. Barry's with 10 runs. That means Weyburn is giving up double digits in runs for a 6th straight game tonight. Two and 1 the count, shown by home plate umpire Blake Tilley. Nathan Houston at first. Ethan Menard at third. A strike to Sorensen. Count evened up at 2-2. Deuces on the top line of the scoreboard here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Jared Eifler ready to deliver to Balin Sorensen. And now time is called by the batter just before Eifler was about to throw. In fact, he had to stop his delivery. Eifler hanging on to the ball for long periods of time, trying to throw off the timing of the runners, and finally Sorensen had enough. Now everybody seems set and ready to go. 2-2 pitch is fouled off at the plate. Spoiled there by Sorensen. Count remains 2-2. Again, ABM Medina is on deck for the Berries, hoping to get an opportunity to hit. Eifler hanging on to the ball. Houston dancing around at first. 2-2 pitch. This one's hit in the air again. Left field and looking up. And that one is over and out. A Truckers special. 2 home runs on the night for Balin Sorensen. That's a 3-run shot that makes it 13-3 here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Sorensen had to reach out. That was on the outside corner, and he's able to take it on a line drive over the left field fence. Six RBI for Balin Sorensen in this game, thanks to 2 home runs. That's the start of a phone number on the bottom line of the scoreboard here with the home team. 373. Up comes ABM Medina now. Medina hit by a pitch in the 1st inning. Grounded out to first base in the 2nd. Eifler's first pitch on the outside corner, strike 1. Again, Medina on a 12-game hitting streak. Eifler's pitch. This is rocketed out to second, but Alex Alva with a nice backhanded play throws on to first to make the out and end the inning. But the Berries, on a 3-run homer by Balin Sorensen, score 3 runs on 3 hits. There were no Weyburn errors and nobody left on base. After 3 complete, it's Saskatoon 13, Weyburn 3. You're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Yeah.
I need a stool. My legs are so swollen you won't believe it. They're just like rocks. No, I'll get somebody to get something next game. Drink. Have a drink. You haven't had a drink.
Your unofficial score line through 3 innings of play here this evening for the Saskatoon Berries. 13 runs on 10 hits. They have not committed an error and left 1 runner on base. Weyburn Beavers have scored 3 runs on 2 hits. They have not committed an error. They've left 4 runners on base. Top of the 4th inning, Matthias Tronson back out for the Berries after retiring Weyburn 1-2-3 in the top of the 3rd. They'll face the number 8, 9, and 1 hitters, Rob Gurney, the catcher, Luke Malzewski, the right fielder, and second baseman Alex Alva coming up against Matthias Tronson here in the top of the 4th inning. Gurney, his first time up, flew out to center field against starting pitcher Adam Beeman. Tronson pitches from the stretch with nobody on base. That first delivery is in for strike 1. Beeman's line, of course, is done. 2 innings pitched. He gave up 2 hits, 3 runs, all earned. This one's tapped up the third base line, and they'll make sure they touch it in foul territory rather than having it scoot back into fair territory. Bring Gurney back to the plate with 2 strikes on him. Beeman struck out 2, but he walked 5. And that was a little bit of his undoing. In his 2 innings, he unofficially threw 53 pitches in 2 innings and faced 12 batters. He faced 13 batters. Breaking ball down low to Rob Gurney, 1-2. Getting back into the batter's box is the catcher Rob Gurney. Mentioned he's in his 3rd season with Weyburn. 1-2 pitch, hit in the air. Shallow right field. Coming on are Janner and right fielder Murdoch able to cut in front of him and make the catch. That one gets up there in the sun. And yeah, even though they're wearing sunglasses, you may not see it right away, but able to make the catch. And 1 away here in the top of the 4th. Luke Malzewski coming up. He walked and scored in the 3-run Weyburn 2nd inning. But that has been more than overcome by the Berries here. That pitch through the glove of Ethan Menard. Back to the backstop, ball 1. Top of the order, Alex Alva on deck for Weyburn. Ryan Doffney retrieving the baseball that got away to the backstop. They will have to wait for him to get back to the batters, to the on-deck circle. Up high, 2-0 to Malzewski. Tronson's in his 2nd year. He was with Saskatoon last season. Saw a lot of time as a starting pitcher. Started the year that way too, as this one's hit high in the air. Again, shallow right field. Ethan Murdoch coming on will make the catch. And there's 2 away. Tronson last year made 9 starts, had a 1-1 record, a 3.60 earned run average in 35 innings. So now Alex Alva, who got Weyburn's first hit against Adam Beeman his last time up, doubled and scored in the 2nd inning. He's 1 for 2. Curveball in for a strike from Tronson. Alva with that double extending his hitting streak to 4 games, during which he's now 7 for 15. Swing and a miss on a changeup. 2 strikes quickly on Alex Alva. Tronson with a 2-strike delivery coming. Up high through the heater there and trying to get him to chase up high, and Alva didn't, so it's 1-2. Alva, 5'9", 165-pound second baseman. Leadoff guy, can run. 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball foul back to the screen. Stays alive at 1-2. Ryan Doffney, the designated hitter, on deck. Alva readjusts the batting gloves. Gets back into the left-hand batter's box. And awaits a 1-2 pitch from Matthias Tronson. This is hit in the air near the Barry's dugout and is out of play just beyond the dugout. And will be collected. And they bring the foul ball to the concession stand. You get a freeze or a freezy here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. That's usually good for the kids. Chase it down. And some adults. Count remains 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Tronson strikes out Alva. 3 strikeouts for Tronson in 2 innings. He has retired all 6 hitters he has faced. No runs, no hits, no Barry's errors. Nobody left on base after 3.5. Saskatoon 13. Weyburn 3. You're watching Barry's baseball on FloCollege. New pitcher, 29. Yeah.
It was so dark earlier with the shade.
New pitcher into the ball game for the Weyburn Beavers. It'll be Ty Thompson, a left-hander from Regina. As Jared Eifler goes 2 innings. Pitcher number 3 of the night for the Beavers. Ty Thompson, mentioned, is from Regina. Coming off his sophomore year at College of the Desert, 6 foot, 195-pound left-hander. Is making his first appearance of the season, really? Looks like it. I don't see any stats for him so far this year, so I remember him from last year with Weyburn. So a season debut for Thompson, from the looks of it. Unless we're missing more stats somewhere along the line. He'll face Ethan Murdoch, the right fielder, first baseman Corey Waters, and third baseman Cooper Westland here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 3 right-handed hitters to face the lefty. Right about now, Cam Williams, I don't think, cares about lefty-righty matchups or anything like that. Just get the guy who can get some outs, as that first pitch is low and away, ball 1. One ball pitch is one's lined over the head of the third baseman Dale into left field. Murdoch with a big turnaround first, but the left fielder was playing towards the line, and so Noah Brooks able to get the ball back in to the infield, and Murdoch with a base hit. Corey Waters hit a home run, a solo shot in the 2nd inning. Off of Jared Eifler. Berries have 4 round trippers tonight. First pitch to Waters, down low, ball 1. 13-3, Berries with the lead. They have their leadoff man on here in the bottom of the fourth inning. And Murdoch, a threat to run if he decides to do so. Foul back to the screen, 1-1. Waters took a big cut there. Must have liked what he saw. Yeah, no games played for Ty Thompson this year. Slow breaking pitch in there for a strike, 1-2 to Corey Waters. Now a toss over to first to check on Ethan Murdoch. Murdoch has 9 stolen bases, which was tied for 9th in the league coming into tonight's action. Waters with a fly ball. This one's slicing towards right center field. Will get down, cut off by the center fielder McDaniel. Waters will make it into second. Murdoch around to third. And there's 2 men on for the Berries here in the bottom of the fourth inning as they threaten to score again for a 4th straight inning. Cooper Westland now coming up. Tripled to lead off the second inning and scored, and made the last out in the second inning by flying out to center field. He was hitting .271 coming into tonight. His first pitch swinging and is sent down the right field line like his triple did, but it's about 10, 15 feet foul down the right field line for strike 1. Again, our vantage point looks right down the right field line. I could be an umpire here, be used up here if the umpires are not in position on the field in the 3-umpire group. And I would be unbiased. Yeah, right. If you believe that, I've got land for you somewhere. There's a little looper into center field, a base hit. Westland will drive in a run. In to score is Ethan Murdoch. And on to third base is Corey Waters. That makes it 14-3 for Saskatoon. Runners on first and third. And Jalen Freeman to the plate now. Freeman a couple of singles in the game. Scored a run. Drove in a run. The only bad thing for him so far tonight is he got picked off first base. And a big swing and a miss at a breaking pitch, strike 1. Single, double, single. And a run home for the Berries in this inning. Another breaking pitch and a swing over the top for strike 2 on Jalen Freeman. Top of the order, Ethan Medard on deck. Could be getting his, well, he will be getting his 4th plate appearance in as many innings, unless Freeman hits into a triple play. That one's another breaking ball that bounces and outside, 1-2. Corey Waters at third, Cooper Westland at first. Bottom of the 4th inning. Ty Thompson shaking off catcher Rob Gurney. He now gets the pitch signal he wants. Up high, and that just missed Freeman and gets away from Gurney. In to score from third is Corey Waters, and Westland up to second base. Wild pitch brings in the run, makes it 15-3. 2-2 the count on Jalen Freeman with 2 runs in here in the bottom of the 4th inning and nobody out. Thompson's pitch bounces, blocked by Gurney. Stays in front of him, so Westland does not advance. And a full count to the Berries left fielder. Jalen's favorite meal is a barbecue plate, according to the Jumbotron in right field. Down and away, ball 4. Ty Thompson's faced 4 batters. He's yet to get any of them out. First and second, nobody out. Ethan Menard to the plate. 1 for 2. A 2-run homer in the second inning. Walked and scored in the third. From Opelousas, Louisiana. Fouled out of play up the first base side, strike 1. And it's not Opelousas, it's Opelousas, I was told. Even though it's spelled Opelousas, the O is like a U at the beginning. On the ground, into the hole between short and third, into left field. Held at third base is Cooper Westland. And the bases will be loaded now for Evan Janner. Still nobody out. And Cam Williams is going to trot out and have a word with Ty Thompson. There is somebody warming up down the left field line. Weyburn could be down to position players throwing after a while. The man warming up down there is number 22, Josiah Mendoza, who we've seen earlier this season. Out of Clovis, New Mexico, coming off his freshman year at Eastern New Mexico University. In fact, Mendoza, pitched 2/3 of an inning against the Berries back on June 14th when Saskatoon won 12-5. Gave up a hit, 4 runs, 2 of them earned, struck out 1, hit 3 batters out of 8 batters that he faced. Ty Thompson still the pitcher right now, though, for Weyburn, with nobody out and the bases loaded. And the first pitch low and away, ball 1 to Evan Janner. Janner struck out his last time up, walked his first 2 times up, and scored twice. Nathan Houston on deck for the Berries. And this one hits Janner in the back. Another one of those painful RBIs with the bases loaded. Janner gets an RBI to make the score 16-3. For Evan Janner, that is RBI number 12 on the year. So now Nathan Houston, who's 2 for 2, has been on base all 3 times, having also walked, and has scored all 3 times he's been up to bat tonight. Down low, ball 1 from Ty Thompson. Thompson delivers a 1-0 pitch. That's inside, 2-0. Houston let that one go. That's a pretty good eye. That looked actually pretty good. Foul back to the screen, 2-1. Bases are juiced. 2-1 pitch hit in the air towards right field. It's going to make its way all the way out there and be caught. The throw back in actually hits Janner in the leg. A throw down to second, and everybody is safe. Menard was heading for third, but Freeman was being held at third by the third base coach. The Berries are calling off the dogs a little bit here. I mean, if that had landed fair, you'd have seen people running. but only station to station. Houston with a fly ball to right field, caught by Luke Malzewski, and now it's Balin Sorensen, who's homered his last 2 times up. Also walked and has scored 3 times tonight. 1-0 to Sorensen. Swing and a miss. Strike 1, 1-1. AB and Medina on deck. The Berries would bat around for a second time tonight, and we're only in the 4th inning. 1-1. On the ground towards second. Fielded by Alva to second for 1. The throw on to first is safe. Fielder's choice. Sorensen beats it out. Freeman scores on the play to make it 17-3, as that's a 7th RBI tonight for Balin Sorensen. Ethan Menard down to third, and Evan Janner is erased on a fielder's choice for 2 away. And so ABM Medina at the plate, 0 for 2, hit by a pitch. First pitch is low and away, ball 1, a breaking pitch from Ty Thompson. Medina fouls that one. That'll just miss the screen, just off to our left down the third base line, and find its way into the parking lot. A ball and a strike. Medina, along with Evan Janner, are the only member of the Berries to have not gotten a hit so far, as that one is inside 2-1. Also up high. 2 balls, 1 strike on the lefty hitting second baseman for the Berries. On the outside corner, breaking pitch, 2-2. Matthias Tronson down the right field line, getting a few warm-up tosses. Again, this has been a long half inning at the plate for the Berries. 2-2, up and in from Thompson, a full count now. Ethan Murdoch on deck, could get a second time at bat this inning if Medina gets on. Line drive into center field, base hit. Hitting streak extended to 13 games for ABM Medina as Ethan Menard scores to make it 18-3. And actually, Balin Sorensen around to third, and Medina ends up on second base. And Cam Williams is coming out to the mound, and we're going to get another new pitcher here for the Weyburn Beavers. A rough outing for Ty Thompson, his first of the season. And a new man coming in will be Josiah Mendoza, number 22, out of Clovis, New Mexico. (18-3) is the score in favor of the Saskatoon Berries in the bottom of the 4th inning. Josiah Mendoza making his 11th appearance of the season, all in relief. He's pitched 9 1/3 innings. Has a loss to his credit, an 11.57 earned run average. Has allowed 14 hits, 18 runs, 12 earned, struck out 8, walked 8 in 9 1/3 innings. A second straight lefty coming at the Saskatoon Berries. And as I mentioned, Mendoza pitched against the Berries back on the 14th of June. 2 away here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 5 runs in for the Berries in this frame, thanks to 5 hits. They have 15 hits on the game. So fourth time through the lineup for Saskatoon. One more warm-up pitch, says home plate umpire Blake Tilley. Game like this becomes a long one. Team that's losing may wish that there was a mercy rule in place, but there isn't one in this league. That I'm aware of, anyway. I mean, the Berries beat Moose Jaw 22-4 earlier this season in Moose Jaw. That wouldn't have been very much fun for the fans supporting the Miller Express that night at Roswell's Park. Here, the fans here are enjoying it as Murdoch, first pitch swinging, sends it into the air to right. Coming on, after at first having trouble finding the ball off the bat, was Luke Malzewski. He comes on, makes the catch. One pitch for Josiah Mendoza to get the third out here in the bottom of the fourth inning. But the Berries score another 5 runs on 5 hits. There were no Weyburn errors and 2 runners left on base. So after 4 complete, it's the Saskatoon Berries 18, the Weyburn Beavers 3. You're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Mm-hmm. Let's take a look out of town tonight in the Western Canadian Baseball League. There are 4 other games on the go besides ours. Top of the 6th inning in Swift Current, Okotoks has a 3-0 lead on the 57s. Bottom of the 6th inning, pitchers duel. Medicine Hat and Fort McMurray are scoreless. Energy City Cactus Rats have an 11-3 lead in Brooks in the top of the 5th inning, and this one's a little more of an interesting. It's a slugfest in Regina at Curry Field. Bottom of the 3rd inning, Moose Jaw 15, Regina 9. As Matthias Tronson on here in the top of the 5th inning, his first pitch to Ryan Daphne is up high for a ball. Daphne's been on base twice. Breaking pitch in for a strike from Tronson. 1-1. Daphne's been on base both times he's been to the plate tonight. On the ground, 2-hop. Medina knocks it down. Throw on to first in time to retire Daphne. 1 away. Ian Heck now the batter, first baseman, 0 for 1 with a walk in the 2nd inning. Heck on a mini 3-game hitting streak coming into tonight, 6 for 15. Swing and a miss, strike 1 against Tronson. 6 RBI, and that's 6 for 15. Heck's in his 2nd season. He also does pitching. He's a regular in the rotation for Cam Williams. He's made 6 starts already this year. Big swing and a miss. And 0-2 the count on Ian Heck. Tronson up 0-2. Up and away, ball 1, 1-2. Noah Brooks, the left fielder, on deck. Tronson ready to deliver. Up high in the zone and fouled back to the screen. Heck stays alive. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ian Heck, actually, as a pitcher, has a 2-2 record and a 3.17 earned run average. He's their best pitcher and a pretty good hitter as well, with 4 home runs. That one bounced away from Bale and Sorensen. 2-2 the count. As Trevor Dale retrieves the ball. Heck, couple of hoppers, edge of the grass, taken by Westland. Good throw on to first to retire Heck, and there's 2 away. A solid effort from Tronson so far. He'll face Noah Brooks, the left fielder. Walked in the first inning, flew out to center in the second. Also on a 3-game hitting streak coming into tonight. 5 for his last 13 now. Came into the game hitting .330. Pitch in for a strike. That one's outside, ball 1. Tronson probably going to go for as long as he can tonight. Joe Carnahan getting 2 innings out of Adam Beeman. Swing and a miss. That one up stairs again high in the zone, and Brooks took a healthy cut at that, but missed. 1-2 the count. Nobody warming up down the right field line. That's just down and inside. Ball 2, 2-2. Tronson through 2 innings unofficially had thrown 26 pitches. 2-2 pitch on the ground. Nathan Houston scoops that up. Throw over to first in time. 3 ground ball outs. 3 different infielders make plays. A 1-2-3, top of the 5th inning for Weyburn. And after 4.5, we're halfway home. It's Saskatoon 18, Weyburn 3, as you're watching Barrie's baseball on FloCollege. That's what happens when you score a lot of runs and there's a lot of walks. It becomes a long game.
I'm gonna need a stool.
A stool?
I need a stool for my foot. My legs. I can't have them hang.
We have that stool at home we could bring. Yeah. Well, we bring that. You could put it. Yeah. No, it's in the furnace room.
Okay. Bring it.
Well, we don't have to worry about that until Saturday now. Yep.
5.
Heading for the bottom of the 5th inning. Saskatoon Berries will send up the bottom third of their order. Corey Waters, Cooper Westland, and Jalen Freeman to bat against Josiah Mendoza, who came on in relief of Ty Thompson last inning. He's the 4th pitcher tonight for Weyburn. Threw 1 pitch, and Ethan Murdoch hit a fly ball to right field to finish off the inning. So Corey Waters up. Waters 2 for 3. Hit a solo home run in the 2nd inning. Doubled and scored in the 4th. Mendoza's first pitch up high, ball 1. Down low, 2-0. Waters is going to be heading to Winthrop College for his 3rd year of University. There's a strike, 2-1. He played for McCook Community College. As there's a strike, 2-2 to the Saskatoon product. Winthrop University's in Rock Hill, South Carolina. Mid-Plains Community College, McCook campus in Nebraska. That's up and away, ball 3, a full count. Waters has pitched as well as been hitting at McCook. This one hit on the ground, and it goes right through the legs of Ian Heck at first base. There's our first error of the ball game, and it'll go to the Weyburn Beavers first baseman Ian Heck. Well, we talked him up about pretty good hitter, very good pitcher. Not so good with the glove on that play, unfortunately, as the leadoff man is on base. It'll be Cooper Westland, the hitter. First pitch fouled out of play. Heading towards the Bob Van Imp softball diamond next door, where there's international softball going on tonight. Men's fast pitch. 4 teams, 4 countries that are heading to the World Cup up in Prince Albert next week, taking part in a mini tournament. 1 strike the count on Westland, and now down and in, ball 1, 1-1. Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field here in Saskatoon, part of the Gordie House Sports Complex, a place that is teeming with activity 365 days of the year. That pitch gets away from Gurney to the backstop, and Waters will jog to second on the pass ball. Make the count 2-1. Gurney walks back to his catching position, a little dejected, as he knows he should not have let that get away from him. Josiah Mendoza's 2-1 pitch is inside, 3-1 now to Cooper Westland, who attended North Star High School in Lincoln, Nebraska. Can play second base, shortstop, or third. Tonight playing third. He's played some second this season for Joe Carnahan. Fouls a pitch off at the plate. And that is a strike to make the count full at 3-2. Left fielder Jalen Freeman on deck. Well, actually, he's not on deck. We're going to get a pinch hitter in all likelihood, as we'll start seeing some people not dressed tonight getting an opportunity to play here. Turner Zadunich, it looks like, is warming up in the on-deck circle, and he'll get a chance to come up in place of Jalen Freeman as Westland draws a walk, first and second, with nobody out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. It's going to be Turner Zadunich coming into the game. Zadunich pitched 2 innings last night for the Berries, part of the 8-7 Berries 10-inning victory over Moose Jaw. He'll likely stay in the game and play left field. Zadunich has done that this year. Swing and a miss at the first pitch. Curveball, and it's a strike. Turner Zadunich hitting .178 on the season, 8 hits and 45 at-bats. Has 5 runs batted in. There's a pitch over his head that Gurney can't flag down all the way to the backstop, and Waters advances to third. Westland to second on the wild pitch this time. And the count's 1-1 on Zadunich. Josiah Mendoza has yet to record an out. Here in the bottom of the 5th inning. That one is just outside, 2-1. Top of the order, Ethan Menard is on deck, and he is on deck. He's the catcher. He ain't coming out of the game just yet. Zadunich fouls that off of himself. That's Smarts off of the leg. Count even at 2-2. I mentioned earlier on that the guys from the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley, Robert Bonilla, Evan Janner have a new teammate that they went to college with. Rudy Gonzalez is a catcher that's arrived in Saskatoon. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Zadunich has gone on strikes. First out here of the bottom of the 5th inning for the Berries. And Ethan Menard now coming to the plate. And in typical Ethan Menard style, that jersey is absolutely covered in dirt here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. Because Ethan plays it only one way, all out or nothing, which is what endears him to the fans here in Saskatoon. Swing and a miss. He also takes big cuts at baseballs like that. Strike 1. 2 for 3 tonight for Ethan. A 2-run homer in the 2nd inning. Singled and scored in the 4th. Walked and scored in the 3rd inning. Up high, ball 1, 1-1. 1 away, 2 men on, 2nd and 3rd. Corey Waters at 3rd, Cooper Westland at 2nd for the Berries. Evan Janner on deck. That looks to be him too. Swing and a tip ball foul caught by Gurney. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Josiah Mendoza looking to get a second out here. 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball inside, 2-2. Those flags are flapping out towards right field pretty vigorously. That wind has not died down today. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Menard goes down. That's back-to-back strikeouts for Josiah Mendoza. 2 away, 2 runners on, and up comes Evan Janner. His 5th plate appearance of the night. He's officially 0 for 1. Struck out in the 3rd inning. Walked twice, hit by a pitch. Couple of stolen bases. He scored a couple of runs. Mendoza's first pitch is down and away, ball 1. Back he comes, in there for a strike, 1-1 on Evan Janner. Janner now the only starting player for tonight of the 9 to not have a hit for the Berries. Big swing and a miss at a slow breaking pitch. He got fooled on that one, 1-2. Nathan Houston on deck. Janner has to make it on base in order for him to come up this half inning. That one stays up high and inside, 2-2 the count. Two pitched. Mendoza thought he had strike 3, but home plate umpire Blake Tilley says, not so fast. That was down and away. And a full count to Evan Janner with 2 away here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And that one is up high over top of his head, ball 4. Bases are loaded with 2 away. And up comes Nathan Houston, who's 2 for 3 with 3 runs scored tonight. Balin Sorensen will be on deck as Houston comes up. And Josiah Mendoza will pitch from out of the full windup here. Houston puts the first pitch wide of the mark at 3rd base, foul, strike 1. It's another long half inning. A lot of pitches thrown by Josiah Mendoza. Bases loaded. Down low, 2-0. Or sorry, 1-1. My mistake. Waters at 3rd, and that hits him. And that's another Bases loaded, hit batsman. The third time that's happened tonight. Waters will score to make it 19-3. Westland up to third. Janner to second. And Houston gets a painful RBI. That's RBI number 21 on the season for him. And Cam Williams out to talk to Josiah Mendoza. He doesn't seem all that terribly thrilled. That's a brief one-way conversation between head coach and everybody listens. Balin Sorensen coming to the plate. The Berries have scored a run now in every inning. They've done so in this inning without the benefit of a base hit. An error, that's an unearned run that's come in. 2 walks, a hit batsman. Now Sorensen to the plate. First pitch swinging, fouls it off. Wide of the first base bleachers, strike 1. Westland at third. Janner at second. Houston on first. Mendoza from the full windup. Floats a curveball way outside, and Gurney had to lunge to his right to snare that. 1 ball, 1 strike. Sorensen 2 for 3. 3 runs scored, swing and a miss on a breaking pitch, 1-2. He has 7 RBI tonight, does Balin Sorensen, thanks to a couple of 3-run homers and a fielder's choice in which he beat it out, trying to get an inning-ending double play. There's a breaking pitch outside, 2-2 the count. Josiah Mendoza's 2-2 pitch. He bounces it, and it'll get to the backstop, and trotting home with the 20th run of the night for the Berries is Cooper Westland on that wild pitch. Janner to third, Houston up to second. Full count now to Balin Sorensen. And down the right field line, again, there's action in the bullpen. Keaton Husband for the Beavers. He is a Weyburn product, warming up. Full count pitch, bounces in, hits the umpire. Gurney will collect the ball and prevent Janner from scoring. Sorensen draws a walk. The bases are loaded again with 2 away. And that's going to be it for Josiah Mendoza now. So a new pitcher going to be coming in for Weyburn. And Keaton Husband is going to be the guy coming in. He'll be the 5th pitcher of the night for the Weyburn Beavers, as Cam Williams is looking for somebody to provide him with some outs. Keaton Husband comes on. He wears number 1 for the Weyburn Beavers. He's from Weyburn, as mentioned. 5'10", 175-pound right-hander. He's a freshman coming out of Minnesota West Community College. Keaton Husband has some fans here cheering for him as he comes into the ball game with his team down 20-3. This will be Husband's 9th appearance of the season, all in relief. No record for him. No wins, no losses, no saves. A 12.07 earned run average. 12 2/3 innings pitched. 19 hits allowed. 19 runs. 17 of them earned. 7 strikeouts. 12 walks for Keaton Husband. And he'll face Abiam Medina, who had a single last inning. And again, the Berries are very close to batting around. This will be their 8th man coming to the plate in the 5th inning. 2 runs in for the Berries here in the bottom of the 5th. They've scored 20 for the 2nd time this season. And again, they've done 2 runs scored in this inning without the benefit of a hit. Wildness and an error. Which is going to probably make those 2 runs both unearned. They are, actually. Medina coming into the ball game again. Left-handed hitter. I mentioned singled his last time up. Also hit by a pitch back in the first inning to drive in a run. Berries have been hit by a pitch 3 times tonight and have driven in a run each time. Keaton Husband's first pitch swing and a miss by A.B. Medina, strike 1. Ethan Murdoch is on deck. Outside, 1-1. We're past the 2-hour mark of this ball game, and we're just past the halfway point. Medina hammers this one down the right field line, but that's hooking foul. Almost went out the exit there. Some fans starting to leave, actually. It's past 9 o'clock. 1-2 the count on A.B. Medina. Husband pitch, Medina on the ground, in between first and second, scooped up by the second baseman. Alva on to first in time. Heck got back to the bag to cover, takes the throw, and that's the 3rd out. So Keaton Husband induces a ground ball by A.B. Medina to finish off the bottom of the 5th inning. The Berries score 2 runs without a hit. There was 1 error made by the Weyburn Beavers, and 3 runners left on base. Through 5, it is Saskatoon 20, Weyburn 3. You're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. That's okay. That's all right. I don't know.
This guy's saying something. Umpire. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, go.
We've got some defensive changes for the Berries in the ball games. Turner Zadunich has replaced Jalen Freeman in left field, but I also see Nomar Prieto in the ball game at shortstop in place of Nathan Houston. Meanwhile, Matthias Tronson's back out for the top of the 6th inning, and first pitch swinging a line drive into left field, and that one is off the fence on the fly. Zadunich picks it up and gets the ball back into second and will hold Trevor Dale to a long single. But that's the first hit that Matthias Tronson's allowed, as he retired 9 batters in a row through 3 innings. And first pitch swinging, Dale lashes a single off the left field fence to put a Weyburn Beaver on first here to lead off the top of the 6th inning. Another line shot, and that's down the left field line fair, all the way into the corner. Zadunich with the ball. He'll get it back into the infield as Dale will hold at third, and Zach Tanabe with a ringing double down the left field line. And that's the first 2 men on for Weyburn here in the top of the 6th inning. Chet McDaniel, the center fielder, is due up. As I was starting to mention, Nomar Prieto is into the ball game at shortstop for Nathan Houston. So we've got 2 defensive changes here in the ball game as Tronson's first pitch to McDaniel is ball 1. 2 pitches, 2 guys on for Weyburn here in the top of the 6th. Hit on the ground. Gloved at short by Prieto. Throw over to first, and Waters can't catch it. He ends up knocking it down. Scoring on the play from third is Trevor Dale. And that'll be an RBI for McDaniel. And a throwing error on Prieto, who's new to the game. Tanabe held at second base. That's the first error committed by the Berries tonight. As Rob Gurney comes up. First and second, nobody out for Weyburn here in the top of the 6th inning. Gurney is 0 for 2. First pitch from Tronson is a curveball that's outside, ball 1. Gurney with a couple of fly ball outs. (20-4) now the score for the Berries here in the top of the 6th inning. On the outside corner, strike 1. Gurney takes time. Will readjust the batting glove. Zach Tanabe at second base. Chet McDaniel at first for the Beavers here in the top of the 6th. Starts to cool off a little bit here with the sun setting. Down low. 2-1 on Gurney. Still mainly sunny according to Environment Canada. 22 degrees Celsius. That wind has settled down a bit. West-northwest at 17 kilometers per hour. Tronson's 2-1 pitch is in there for a strike. That looks like a slider or cut fastball. A little bit of movement away from the hitter. Over the plate. 2-2 the count. Berries have scored in every inning so far. Gurney turns on the ball and hits it foul past third base. Count stays at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Luke Malzewski, the right fielder, is on deck, I believe. The on-deck circle is down below us here. So you got to kind of look around, but I think that is Malzewski who's down below us here. Now Tronson steps off towards second to check on Zach Tanabe. Meanwhile, down the right field line, we start to see some action in the bullpen for the Berries. As Tronson's into his 4th inning of work, and that one's up high. Ball 3. Full count now on Rob Gurney. As the first 3 hitters for Weyburn in this inning have reached base. (3-2) pitch hit in the air, but he got around on that one, and that one's going to be foul and out of play. Gurney turned on that one. Got it in the air, but quite a ways foul down the left field line. For the Berries, warming up down the right field line, it's Carson Obrecht, who might be coming into the game here sooner than later. Again, Gurney with a swing and a pop-up. Shallow left field coming in as Turner's doing it. She'll make the catch, and there's one away. It'll bring up Luke Malzewski, the right fielder. 0 for 1. Walked and scored in the 2nd inning. 20-4 for the Berries over the Weyburn Beavers tonight. We're still in the top of the 6th inning. Still a ways to go before we can put a 30 on this one, as this one's up high, ball 1. Berries after tonight go on the road tomorrow. They'll be in Moose Jaw to play the Miller Express. Foul back, 1-1. Then the Berries play a home-and-home with Regina this weekend. Saturday at home. 6 o'clock start here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. And then a Sunday visit to Curry Field in Regina. 1-1 the count on Luke Malzewski. Pour it in for a strike, 1-2. Tronson has 3 strikeouts in his appearance here tonight. Has not yet walked a batter. Bounces that pitch in, 2-2 the count. Top of the order, Alex Alva will be on deck for Weyburn. Matthias Tronson. This one's hit in the air to center. Backing up a few steps is Evan Janner. He'll make the catch. Runner from second will head on to third and make it safely, Zach Tanabe. But there are 2 away now here in the top of the 6th inning as Alex Alva will come to the plate. Alva's 1 for 3. Alva doubled and scored. Drove in a run back in the 2nd inning. Otherwise, he's popped out and struck out. Struck out against Tronson back in the 4th inning. Heading off to first base as Alva sends a flare down the third baseline, foul. Base runner McDaniel was running before the pitch. He'll have to return to first base. Strike 1 on Alex Alva out of Littleton, Colorado. Tronson with a 1-strike count on Alva. Bouncing ball right back to the pitcher. Tronson with an easy throw over to Waters to retire the side. A run for Weyburn in the top of the 6th inning on 2 hits. 1 Berries error and 2 runners left on base. After 5.5, it's Saskatoon 20 and Weyburn 4. You're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Keaton Husband back out to pitch after getting the 3rd out in the bottom of the 5th inning on behalf of the Weyburn Beavers. He is the 5th pitcher of the night for Weyburn. None of them, the previous 4, have had much success in getting out Saskatoon hitters in this game. Berries with 20 runs on 15 hits. There's been a pile of walks, hit batsmen with the bases loaded in all 3 instances. And by my unofficial count, Weyburn pitchers have already thrown 156 pitches in 5 innings. That's better than 30 per inning, and that's a lot, is right. So, Husband is supposed to face Ethan Murdoch, and he will. Corey Waters is also due up now this inning, and Cooper Westland, and they all are in position with bats to hit here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Murdoch 2 for 4, a couple of singles for him. First pitch swinging, strike 1. Murdoch scored in the 4th inning. Drove in a couple of runs in the first. Up and in, ball 1, 1-1. Murdoch's 2 RBI in the first inning made it 3-0. Inside, 2-1 count. Two-one pitch. That's upstairs a little, not much. Good looking pitch. 3 balls, 1 strike. Three-one pitch. This is line to left field. Hooking, foul. Just foul. Down the left field line. That'll make the count full at 3-2. That was a good swing by Ethan Murdoch on that ball. Can see why he hit 10 home runs for Marshall University this past university season. He's got 5 for the Berries right now. Fouls that pitch back to the screen, stays alive at 3-2. This is the midpoint game, by the way, for the Berries this season. 56 game seasons for the teams in the Western Canadian Baseball League. 24-3 the Berries, so going into game 28. Swing and a miss on an off-speed breaking ball, and the Keaton Husband fan club is happy. 1 away here in the bottom of the 6th inning. It'll bring up Corey Waters, the first baseman. Waters is 2 for 4 tonight. Scored 3 runs, hit a solo homer in the 2nd, doubled and scored in the 4th. Reached on an error in the 5th. This time he'll hit a slow roller to the right side of the infield. An underhand play by the second baseman Alva in time to get him. Waters seemed surprised that that pitch went forward. He kind of lost his balance a bit in the box and was slow getting out to move down the line. 2 away here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And Cooper Westland, who's 2 for 3 with 3 runs scored, tripled and scored the go-ahead run back in the 2nd inning. At the time, the game was 3-3 going into the bottom of the 2nd inning, as Westland looks at a pitch for ball 1. Keaton Husband's 1-0 pitch. Westland with a line drive over the head of the second baseman, Alva into right field. That's Cooper Westland's 3rd hit of the ball game, and 16th hit of the night period for the Berries. So now it's Turner Zdunich, who struck out his first time up, playing in place of Jalen Freeman. He came on as a pinch hitter in the 5th inning and stayed in the game in place of Jalen Freeman in left field. Breaking pitch from Husband is on the outside corner, strike 1. 2 away here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 0-1 pitch is upstairs, ball 1, 1-1. Might we be seeing a pitching change for the Berries when we come back for the top of the 7th? Zdunich check swing, but a called strike by home plate umpire Blake Tilley. It's 1-2. Zdunich waits on the pitch. Curve ball, and Rob Gurney trying to frame it for the home plate umpire Blake Tilley, who wouldn't bite on that. 2-2 the count. Must have been a touch outside. 2-2 pitch. Again, slower moving pitch. Upstairs, 3-2, full count. Westland will be going with the pitch as Ian Heck, the first baseman, will play behind him after holding him on. 3-2 is upstairs and outside, ball 4. A walk. And 2 men on now for the Berries here in the bottom of the 6th. Just counting up here. That's the 10th walk issued by Weyburn pitchers tonight. They've also hit 3 batters. As Ethan Menard comes up for a 6th time in the game in the 6th inning. 2 for 4 officially with a home run. His league leading 8th of the year. First pitch from Husband is down low, ball 1. Menard puts a charge into this one. Deep left center field. And caught short of the fence by Chet McDaniel. He was on the warning track to make that one as Menard made a bid for a second home run to join his buddy Balin Sorensen with that many round trippers tonight. But it ends up being a long fly ball out. End of the inning. First time tonight the Berries don't score in an inning. They get 1 hit, no errors, 2 runners left on base. After 6 complete, it's Saskatoon 20, Weyburn 4, as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Yep. Pitching change, 50. Yep. Line score through 6 innings unofficially for the Saskatoon Berries. 20 runs on 16 hits. They've committed 1 error. They've left 8 runners on base. For the Weyburn Beavers, 4 runs on 4 hits. They've committed 1 error. They've left 6 runners on base. Into the ball game to pitch now for the Saskatoon Berries is Carson Obrecht. Obrecht from Omaha, Nebraska, coming off his freshman year at Wayne State College. Will make his 4th appearance of the season. All in relief. No record. A 6.75 earned run average. In 4 innings, Carson Obrecht has allowed 5 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned, has struck out 3 and walked 2. He'll take over as the 3rd pitcher of the night after Matthias Tronson pitched 4 very solid innings for the Saskatoon Berries tonight in relief of starter Adam Beeman. Ryan Daphne will be the first man to face Obrecht here in the top of the 7th inning. Daphne on the ground. It'll get past Westland into left field, and Daphne's on what I would call an error to the 3rd baseman Westland. So the leadoff man for Weyburn is on here to start the 7th inning. Ian Heck to the plate, number 3 hitter in the lineup for Weyburn. 0 for 2 with a walk. This one's sent up the middle. Medina for Prieto. On to first. Wide throw. And Heck will stay at first as the ball didn't get into the dugout. It hit the screen. So it's a fielder's choice. And Daphne out at first. Heck was first pitch swinging. So we have 1 away when a run around first base again. And Noah Brooks up for the 4th time tonight. 0 for 2 with a walk. Carson Obrecht throws in a strike. First pitch swinging both Daphne and Heck for Weyburn. Down low, 1-1 the count. To a degree, I think some of the Weyburn players, the veteran guys, are probably saying, let's get on the bus and get home. It's been a tough season. It's been a very tough road trip. And now it's being capped off when you're down 20-4. Brooks fouls a pitch off down third base side, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Again, Weyburn coming into tonight having lost 7 in a row. Longest current losing streak in the WCBL. Barry's on the longest current WCBL winning streak. Brooks hits one in the air to left. Zdunic started to turn back and then realizes he was right in the right spot, makes the catch, 2 away. It'll bring up Trevor Dale, the third baseman, who singled his last time up against Tronson, ending an 0-for-11 drought for him. He came around and scored Weyburn's 4th run of the game. Just past 2.5 hours into this ball game. First pitch from Obrecht, a breaking ball in for a strike. One strike pitch, and he throws a fastball in there, taken all the way by Dale, 2 strikes. Carson Obrecht with a chance to finish the inning right here, but he lays up a pitch up high, 1-2. Zach Tanabe is on deck. One-two pitch. Little looper that's going to be caught at second base by Abian Medina. And that's the end of the inning. No runs, no hits for Weyburn in the top of the 7th. 1 Saskatoon error and 1 runner left on base. After 6.5 as we head to the 7th inning stretch, it is the Saskatoon Berries 20, the Weyburn Beavers 4. You're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Bottom. No, because, yeah, it's late and the issue's pretty much in. So back for the bottom of the 7th inning. Keaton, the husband, back out. So far has been the most effective of the 5 Weyburn pitchers that we've seen tonight. Because he's yet to allow a run. The other 4 got touched up a little bit. Evan Janner will lead it off. It's numbers 2, 3, and 4 hitters, but for the Berries, Nomar Prieto will bat next behind Evan Janner as he took over at shortstop for Nathan Houston after Houston's last at-bat in the 5th inning. That's ball 1, low and away to Evan Janner, who, again, is still the only Berry without a hit in the game among the 9 starters. That one on the outside corner, strike 1. Janner's walked 3 times and been hit by a pitch. Scored a couple of runs, stole a couple of bases. He fouls that off, and 1 ball, 2 strikes on Evan Janner. One-two pitch from Husband. That one sinks down low, 2-2. Again, Weyburn pitchers have combined to walk 10 and hit 3 batters, while also giving up 16 hits. It has been a tough night for the pitchers, as there's another full count situation. And Evan Janner waiting on the 3-2 pitch here from Keaton Husband to lead off the bottom of the 7th inning. On the ground towards second. Nice room service hop for Alex Alva. Janner is retired, 1 away. Unofficially, Weyburn pitchers have thrown 180 pitches tonight, as we're in the bottom of the 7th inning. So Nomar Prieto gets his first chance at the bat for the Berries, coming on in place of Nathan Houston. First pitch in for a strike, even though it was not caught cleanly by catcher Rob Gurney. Prieto hitting .207. It's just his 12th game. 6 hits and 29 at-bats, a double and 4 runs batted in for the Puerto Rican. From Vega Baja, Puerto Rico. Bounced in ball 1, 1-1. You got a Puerto Rico middle infield, keystone combination. Abia Medina at second base and Prieto now at short. Keaton Husband's 1-1 pitch to Prieto is inside, 2-1. Low as well. One away here in the bottom of the 7th. 2-1 pitch. That's outside. 3-1. Three-one pitch. Prieto sends that one foul. A nice snag off the one hop by the Berries' third base coach, Chance Wheatley. Full count on Prieto. Went to Texas A&M International. 3-2 pitch, and again fouled up to third base, but this time Wheatley can't make the grab on that. Third base coach. You take it easy on them. A lot of times they're ducking for their lives to avoid being hit by foul balls. 3-2. Prieto sends it up the middle. That will get through into center field for a base hit. Nomar Prieto gets on. 17th hit of the ball game for the Berries. And now it'll bring up the designated hitter, Balin Sorensen, who of course is the star of the show tonight with his 2 home runs and 7 runs batted in. We'll have to find out from Balin after the game. When was the last time he drove in 7? I'm pretty sure he's had 2 homer games in the past. As he flicks his wrist and sends a little looper into center field, that will drop, and Prieto will find his way to second base. He had to wait to make sure that that did fall in. Third hit of the night for Sorensen. First and second with 1 away. And ABM Medina comes up. 1 for 4, singled in the 4th. Hit by a pitch that brought in a run in the first inning. One away and runners on first and second. Keaton Husband's pitch and Medina fouls it back, strike 1. So Sorensen's 3 for 4 tonight with a couple of walks. He's been on base 5 times. On the outside corner to Medina. He's now down 0-2 to Keaton Husband in the count. Ethan Murdoch is on deck for the Berries. 2-strike pitch from Husband. Stays outside, ball 1. One and 2 the count. Pitch is swung on and missed, strike 3. Second strikeout for Husband in his appearance. 2 away. And it'll bring up Ethan Murdoch, who struck out against Ethan Husband, leading off the 6th inning. Murdoch 2 for 5 tonight with a run scored. A couple of runs batted in. Runner at second is Nomar Prieto. Balin Sorensen at first. First pitch from Keaton Husband to Ethan Murdoch is in for a strike. Downstairs, ball 1. Corey Waters is on deck, first baseman. 1-1 pitch, swung on and missed, strike 2. If you're Cam Williams, you're thinking to yourself, why didn't I go to this guy earlier? 1-2 pitch. A breaking ball that stays inside and down low, 2-2. 2-2 pitch. And that's off the hand, off the arm, they're saying. Not a swing, according to the home plate umpire, Tilley. That's a hit batsman, the 4th one of the game on the Berries. Murdoch will head down to first. Nomar Prieto to third. And Balin Sorensen up to second. And it'll bring up Corey Waters with the bases loaded here in the bottom of the 7th inning and 2 outs. A mild complaint from the pitcher Husband, but no complaining from the Weyburn dugout. As Husband's first pitch to Waters, he pops it up. Foul territory, going back with a chance to maybe make the play, and neither of them can. The wind playing some tricks still as it's blowing straight out towards right field, and it fell in between the third baseman Dale and the shortstop Tanabe. Ends up just being a strike on Waters, as he was first pitch swinging against Keaton Husband. Weyburn players get back into their positions. The curveball stays inside, 1-1. Cooper Westland on deck. Westland's had a good night. Upstairs to Waters, 2-1. Bottom of the 7th inning, 20-4. Berries with the lead. They've got the bases loaded with 2 away. 2-1 pitch is bounced in, ball 3. 3 balls and a strike. Husband has got nowhere to put Waters without giving up a run here. Let's see what he sends in for a 3-1 pitch. Fastball that bounces in, ball 4. It's a walk and an RBI for Corey Waters to make the score 21-4 now. Nomar Prieto scores on the play. Balin Sorensen up to third. Ethan Murdoch's at second now. And up comes Cooper Westland, who's 3 for 4. Triple, a couple of singles. He scored 3 runs. Lincoln, Nebraska product. First pitch swinging sends a fly ball into right field. Settling under it, though, and making the catch out there is the right fielder Luke Malzewski to retire the side. The Berries do get a run, though, in the bottom of the 7th inning. On 2 hits, there were no Weyburn errors and 3 runners left on base. After 7, Saskatoon 21, Weyburn 4. You're watching Barry's baseball on FloCollege. Top of the 8th inning coming up here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. Carson Obrecht back out for the Berries to pitch a second inning. Third pitcher of the night for Saskatoon, Adam Beeman started, went 2 innings. Matthias Tronson then with 4 pretty solid innings after that, and now Obrecht for Joe Carnahan and the Berries. He'll face the numbers 6, 7, and 8 hitters for Weyburn in the top of the 8th inning. Trevor Dale, the third baseman. Zach Tanabe, the shortstop. Zach Tanabe, the shortstop. Chet McDaniel, the center fielder. And Rob Gurney, the catcher, here in the top of the 8th inning. Obrecht deals, and that's down low, ball 1. Tanabe doubled his last time up in the 6th inning. He's 1 for 3. Down low again from Obrecht, 2-0. Obrecht ready to go with a 2-0 pitch. Tanabe fouls it straight back to the screen, 2-1. 2-1 the count. On the ground, back up the middle. It hits the pitching mound, and Medina can't come up with it cleanly. Good runner, Tanabe. That's going to be a base hit up the middle in the infield. I don't think even with a good throw that Medina would have been able to have got him if he had fielded that cleanly. It wasn't hit all that well, and the mound took a lot of the juice off of the ball coming through the middle of the diamond. So the leadoff man is on. And up to the plate comes Chet McDaniel, the center fielder. Obrecht's first pitch swing on the miss, strike 1. McDaniel 0 for 2, has reached twice, walk and an error, scored a run back in the 2nd inning. On the ground, back up the middle. And Medina can't come up with that one. It'll skip on into center, and now misplayed out there. And into 2nd and 3rd are the runners. McDaniel into 2nd, and all the way to 3rd is Zach Tanabe. It's a single. Actually, not a single. It's an error to the second baseman, Medina, allowing McDaniel to reach, and then an additional error on the center fielder for misplaying the ball, allowing the runners to advance to 2nd and 3rd. So 2nd and 3rd with then nobody out here in the top of the 8th inning for Weyburn. Rob Gurney at the plate, 0 for 3 with 3 fly ball outs for the Weyburn catcher. If he hits another one, at the least it'll be a sacrifice fly, as that first pitch to him is down and away, ball 1. Luke Malzewski, the right fielder, on deck. Evan Janner out in center field, not able to handle that ball cleanly on the base hit up the middle. Down low, 2-0. Don't know how anxious Joe Carnahan is to use another arm tonight. I think he'd like Carson Obrecht to finish this off if possible, but with a 17-run lead here in the top of the 8th inning. 2-0 pitch is outside, 3-0. But Obrecht is a pitch away from loading the bases with nobody out. Gurney back into the batter's box. Kind of crowds the plate a little. Obrecht, 3-0 pitch in there for a strike, taken all the way by Gurney. You got Rob Gurney, who catches for the Weyburn Beavers. You got Austin Gurney, who plays first base for Moose Jaw, whom we saw last night. I don't believe they're related, but you don't know. We're not provided with a lot of that type of information up here. 3-1 pitch is in there for a strike when you have a full count now on Rob Gurney. He's 1 for 10 in the season series against the Berries right to this moment. The 3-2 pitch upcoming to Rob Gurney. And called strike 3. Gurney's running down to first base. He's not aware that he's been called out. He's going to be some upset when he gets told that, son, you're out. Yeah, he looks back and says, seriously? I'm out? You are. Back to the dugout with you. One away. Gurney with a couple of words, mostly under his breath, towards home plate umpire Blake Tilley, as Luke Malzewski now comes to the plate. Gurney's practically on top of the plate. But the only person I've ever seen that crowds the plate more is Ron Hunt, back in the days in the 70s with the San Francisco Giants and the Montreal Expos, as Malzewski takes a strike. Hunt, of course, got hit 50 times by a pitch one year with the Expos. And he wore every one like a badge of honor. Malzewski fouls that off, 0-2. In my mind, you get hit that many times in the season, you're crazy. A. B. You're doing a heck of a job as a leadoff man getting on base. So long as you're not injured taking those pitches on the left side of your body. He was a right-hand hitter. Malzewski with a line drive into right field. That's caught. And a short right field and a throw on into home plate. Blocked there by the catcher, Ethan Menard. Good play by Ethan Murdoch in right field to get the second out and prevent a run from scoring, as Alex Alva, the second baseman, will come up. Alva 1 for 4, doubled and scored in the second inning. Alva 4 for 14 against the Berries in the season series. As Obrecht looking to finish off the frame here. 2 away, top of the 8th inning, 21-4 in favor of Saskatoon. Down and in, ball 1. Curious to see what the attendance figure is for tonight. I don't know how many would be still here, as that one's flared but foul down third base line. Strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike on Alex Alva. Obrecht ready to deliver. This one's fouled back, up and out of play. 1-2, the count. Oh, there's still kids here. There they go, racing after it. There's a freezy at stake there, let me tell you. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 away. Obrecht steps off. Didn't like what he was getting for a sign from Ethan Menard. Now they'll get their signals straight, pun intended. The 1-2 pitch is fouled back to the screen as Alva stays alive. 1 ball, 2 strikes. One and two the count on Alex Alva with 2 away in the top of the 8th inning. Alva reaches for that and flares it foul on top of the third base Weyburn dugout. And he stays alive. Ryan Doffney is next to hit for Weyburn. The designated hitter, he's on deck. See if he gets a chance here in the 8th inning. Obrecht ready to deliver again, a 1-2 pitch. Outside, ball 2, 2-2. Coming up on the 3-hour mark for this ball game. Still just in the 8th inning. Lots of pitches thrown, especially on the Weyburn side. They're up over 200 as Alva again fouls a pitch off. He's got a 7-pitch at-bat going. And a 2-2 count. Line of deuces across the top of the right field scoreboard here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners on second and third for Weyburn in the top of the 8th inning. Carson Obrecht ready to deliver. And again, Alva fouls it off. That's 4 2-pitch or 2-strike foul balls for the left-handed hitting second baseman for the Weyburn Beavers. As Obrecht's pitch count is getting up. Here we go again, 2-2 pitch. This one's in play. Hit in the air to left field. Turner Zadunic will come on, make the catch, and that's the inning. 9-pitch at bat before flying out to left field for Alex Alva. Weyburn gets 2 men on to second and third with nobody out and do not score. 1 hit, 1 Barry's error, 2 runners left on base. After 7.5, Saskatoon 21 and Weyburn 4 as you're watching Barry's baseball on FloCollege. Well, it's called 7.5. No, it's not 8.5. Yeah, I heard that, yep. $13.41 attendance. Bottom of the 8th inning upcoming, and a 6th Weyburn pitcher for tonight, Dylan Parton, a left-hander out of Cypress, Texas, coming off his sophomore year at Central Baptist College. 6'2", 220 pounds into the game. After Keaton Husband pitched a reasonably effective 2 1/3 innings for the Weyburn Beavers compared to the other 4 before him. For Dylan Parton, this will be his first relief appearance after making 5 starts. A 1-1 record, a 5.78 earned run average. He's pitched 23 1/3 innings, allowed 37 hits, 22 runs, 15 earned, has struck out 16 and walked 4. He'll face Turner Zadunic, and then the top of the order, Ethan Menard and Evan Janner. here in the bottom of the 8th inning. First pitch swinging, Zadunic fouls it off, strike one. Official attendance for tonight's game is 1,341. Zadunic fouls another pitch back right at us. Luckily, we're behind the screen and also a window, so we're in no danger of being hit. 2 strikes the count. This isn't like the press box in Sioux City, Iowa, where foul balls come back and bounce around broadcast booth all night long. This one up towards short, trying to field it, was Tanabe, and it went right by him into shallow left field. And Zadunic is on an error to the shortstop. So Ethan Menard will come up to bat for a 7th time tonight. He has a couple of hits in 5 official at-bats, plus a walk, 3 runs scored, and of course he hit a towering 2-run homer straightaway center field back in the 2nd inning. That gave the Berries a 6-3 lead at the time. Outside, ball 1. I believe that's 3 errors now on Weyburn. We'll have to recheck the totals as that pitch was upstairs. Ball 2 to Ethan Menard. Slow curve, hit high in the air, twisting foul though, towards the party patio. 2 balls, 1 strike on the Berries catcher. Dylan Parton on the pitch here for Weyburn in the bottom of the 8th inning. 2-1. Menard hits this one down the right field line, but that is slicing foul. And the count is 2-2 now. Again, the Berries back in action tomorrow. They'll go to Moose Jaw, come home Saturday to play host to Regina, then go to Regina Sunday. Berries in the midst of playing 11 games in as many days. Here's a line drive to center. That'll get down. A big hop almost got over the head of Chet McDaniel. Thought you'd be playing on AstroTurf the way that one bounced. Zadunic stops up at second base, and a 3rd hit tonight for Ethan Menard, now 3 for 6 this evening. As that's 19 hits now for the night for the Berries. Evan Janner at the plate. And gets hit on top of the helmet on that curveball. It's the 2nd time Janner's been hit by a pitch tonight. And he will finish the night as the only Berries player to not have a hit among the starting 9. So the bases are loaded now, with nobody out. Zadunic on 3rd, thanks to reaching on an error. Menard with a solid single, and Janner hit by a pitch. Nomar Prieto up to the plate with the bases loaded. Takes a strike from Dylan Parton. Parton kicks and delivers again. Swing and a miss by Prieto. 2 strikes on the Puerto Rican, who came into the game to play shortstop in place of Nathan Houston in the top of the 6th inning. 2-strike pitch. On the ground towards the hole. It's short. The throw to second. And now it's dropped, but it's going to be an out because the runner went off the baseline. So a fielder's choice and a run scores. Zadunic scores from 3rd base. Prieto is on a fielder's choice, and Janner is out for the first out. Menard over to third base. And Balin Sorensen to the plate. He's had a productive night. 3 for 4, 2 walks, 7 runs batted in. Pitch inside, ball 1. Scored 3 times. First and third, 1 away for the Berries in the bottom of the 8th. 22-4, swing and a miss, strike 1. The 22-4 score is what it was in Moose Jaw back on the 5th of June. 6th of June, I should say. Swing and a miss, strike 2. As I said earlier tonight, 22-4 at home is more enjoyable for the fans here than it would have been in Moose Jaw to have their team get blown out 22-4. Strike 3 called on a curveball. That's 2 away for the Berries here in the bottom of the 8th, and it'll bring up ABM Medina, the second baseman. Darkness has fallen, temperature is dropping, it's mainly clear out. 20 degrees Celsius still. West-northwest at 18 kilometers per hour. Wind has helped out a little bit tonight as Medina, first pitch swinging, hits one foul down the right field side, strike 1. ABM Medina is 1 for 5 tonight with an RBI off of a hit by pitch. All the way back in the first inning. 3 hours and nearly 10 minutes ago. Breaking pitch, off speed, low and away, ball 1, 1-1. Ethan Murdoch is on deck. Foul back to the screen by Medina, 1 ball, 2 strikes. 22-4 for the Saskatoon Berries. They have scored in all but just 1 inning. That was the 6th. 3 in the first, 7 in the third, 3 in the third, 5 in the fourth, 2 in the 5th, 1 in the 7th, and so far 1 here in the 8th. Medina fouls that back to the screen, stays alive at 1-2. 6 Weyburn pitchers have thrown over 200 pitches tonight. Berries pitchers have thrown a few as well, up around 140. Low and away with a breaking pitch, 2-2 to ABM Medina. Dylan Parton ready to rock into the delivery. Medina flares that foul past the Weyburn third base dugout. To be exact, 146 pitches thrown by Berries pitchers through 8 innings tonight. 22-4 the score. Medina swings and misses, strikes out, and that's the end of the inning. But the Berries score a run. On 1 hit, there was 1 error by Weyburn and 2 runners left on base. And through 8 complete, Saskatoon 22, Weyburn 4. You're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Top of the ninth inning. Carson Obrecht back on for a third inning of work for the Saskatoon Berries, wanting to finish things off. Berries with an 18-run lead. On their way to a 25th win, a 25-3 record for the first half of the season. Getting there on a 10-game winning streak now. 16-0, perfect at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field so far this year. And about to go 3-1 against the Weyburn Beavers on the season. The Beavers beat the Berries in the very first game of the year, way back on May the 29th, I should say, by a score of 9-0 at Tom Lang Field in Weyburn. Obrecht's first pitch, Dauphin hammers this one left center field. That one's going to one-hop the fence. Ryan Dauphin with his second hit of the night, a double. And for the Weyburn Beavers, that's their sixth hit as a team in this game. Dauphin 2 for 4 tonight as he improves his hitting streak to 11 games. There's something of consolation for him and the Weyburn Beavers. 20 for 49 in that 11-game hitting streak as Ian Heck to the plate. Down low, ball 1. Heck is 0 for 3 with a walk. A mini 3-game hitting streak is on the line for him here. Swing and a miss, strike 1. $1,341. Not that many now here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field as that pitch down low. Ball 2, 2-1. So salute to the folks who have stuck around through 3 hours plus. Fouled off out of play over top of the first base bleachers. 2-2 on Ian Heck. Noah Brooks, the left fielder, is on deck. Trevor Dale, the third baseman, also hoping for an opportunity to get one more crack at the plate for Weyburn on a tough night for them. 2-2 pitch is down low, full count. Carson Obrecht had thrown 34 pitches unofficially coming into this inning. 3-2 is inside, ball 4, a walk. First and second, nobody out for Weyburn here in the top of the ninth. Out of town tonight. Some crazy ones as well. Moose Jaw in the top of the 8th leads in Regina 19-14. That's a football score. We have a pinch hitter here for Weyburn. Tyron Dorrance coming on to hit for Noah Brooks. First pitch swinging, fouls it off, strike 1. Tyron Dorrance is only playing in his 5th game. 4 hits and 10 at-bats and a couple of RBIs. Left-handed hitter from Alameda, Saskatchewan, not that far from Weyburn. In there for strike 2 from Obrecht. Nobody out. Runners on first and second. A 2-strike count on Tyron Dorrance, the pinch hitter. And that one slips down low on a breaking pitch, 1-2. Trevor Dale is, in fact, in the on-deck circle. You got to start checking to make sure, in case you want to start emptying the bench. That one through the legs of Menard. He'll find it, and nobody advances. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So you got that 19-14 football score. Moose Jaw leading Regina. Energy City leads in Brooks 21-8 in the bottom of the 8th inning. And then you get some real baseball scores, as we'll come back to that in a moment. 2-2 the count. Outside and a full count now on Tyre Endurance, who was down 0-2 in the count and now has battled back to make it 3-2. Okotoks won in Swift Current tonight 5-2. And a real pitching duel, Medicine Hat over Fort McMurray 1-0. 3-2. Called strike 3. Dorrance tossed the bat aside, thought he'd drawn a walk. He's rung up by plate umpire Blake Tilley. That's one away. Here in the top of the 9th inning, Trevor Dale will be the hitter. Dale 1 for 4 tonight, singled and scored in the 6th inning. Ended in 0 for 11 for him. First pitch fouled off by Trevor Dale, who's the third baseman for Weyburn tonight, strike 1. It's a long night at the ballpark when you throw this many pitches and you have this many runs scored. Lots of walks. Lots of hit batsmen. Swing and a miss, strike 2 on Dale. 11 walks and 4 hit batsmen by Weyburn pitching. That makes for a long night. 2 strikes on, and called strike 3 on Dale. 2 away. 1 out left to get for the Berries to wrap this one up. It'll be Zach Tanabe, the shortstop, who's 2 for 4, had hits in both of his last 2 at-bats, doubled in the 6th inning, singled to lead off the 8th. And he'll get one more chance as well here against Carson Obrecht in the top of the 9th inning. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Daphne on second, Heck on first, 2 away. 1 strike pitch is up high, ball 1, 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Lashed towards left field, but it is hooking foul into the left field bullpen. 1-2 the count. Down to their last strike are the Weyburn Beavers on this occasion. Barry's players all clamoring at the top of the dugout, ready to start the celebration. 1-2 pitch, foul back to the screen, just got a piece of it to stay alive at 1-2. Obrecht with 1-2 pitch. And that one stays inside, a breaking ball, 2-2. Chet McDaniel is on deck. See if he gets a chance. He's gotten on his last 2 times based on errors. 2-2. And foul back to the screen as Tanabe doesn't want to go down without a fight. Without a battle here. 2-2 is the count. Again, we got that row of deuces at the top of the scoreboard in right center field here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. Obrecht's 2-2 pitch. Not called strike 3. That's outside. Now it's the Berries' turn to question the umpire's call at home plate. It's a full count. Well, at least he's splitting it down to both sides. Runners on the go, hit on the ground, fielded by Prieto. The throw to first in time, and that's the ball game. 3 hours and 22 minutes it takes to play before we are finally done. A 22-4 final for the Saskatoon Berries over the Weyburn Beavers. In the top of the ninth, Weyburn did not score a run. They had a hit. There were no Berries errors and 2 runners left on base. 22-4 the final. The Berries improved to 25-3, their 10th straight win. 16-0 here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. We'll come back with the totals next as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege.
I couldn't speak.
Back to wrap it up here from Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. Another victory at home for the Saskatoon Berries. This one, after all the drama of last night, extra inning, a come-from-behind win, a one-run big game for the Berries winning over Moose Jaw tonight. The second inning, a 7-run second inning, putting the Berries up 10-3 after 2, and that was all she wrote tonight as far as this decision went. The Berries winning it 22-4. Your final unofficial line score for the Berries, 22 runs on 19 hits. They committed 4 errors and left 13 runners on base. For Weyburn, 4 runs on 6 hits. They committed 2 errors. They left 11 runners on base. The winning pitcher tonight for the Berries is Matthias Tronson. The second pitcher took over from Adam Beeman back in the 3rd inning. And for Matthias Tronson, that is his first decision of the year, and it's a victory as he pitched 4 pretty solid innings in relief. And if I'm not mistaken, regardless of what the score was, as soon as a relief pitcher finishes a game with 3 innings, he gets a save. So I believe Carson Obrecht gets a save for that 3 innings of work that he put in tonight on behalf of the Saskatoon Berries. The losing pitcher was their starter, Ryan Meyer, whose record now drops to 0 wins and 4 losses. 1,341 the attendance tonight. A game that took 3 hours and 22 minutes to play. Berries winning it 22-4, improving their record on the season to 25-3. They're on a 10-game winning streak now, 16-0 here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field, 3-1 head-to-head against the Weyburn Beavers. The Beavers dropped to 7 wins and 21 losses for the year. They've lost 8 in a row now and are 1-9 in their last 10 games, 1-13 on the road this year. Long road trip for Weyburn. They lose all 7 games, 6 of them in the province of Alberta, and this one here tonight, allowing 10 runs or more in the last 6 of those 7 games on this road trip. They head home, and I'm sure they'll be happy to see Tom Lang Field when they get back. For the Berries, they hit the road tomorrow. They'll take on the Moose Jaw Miller Express tomorrow night and then come back home Saturday to play the Regina Red Sox at 6 o'clock here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. That's our next game here on FloCollege. So on behalf of all the folks at Flo Sports and FloCollege, all the gang involved here with the Saskatoon Berries, I'm Les Lazaruk. Have a great rest of your Thursday. What's left of it as it's closing in on midnight. Your final again, the Berries 22, Weyburn 4. You've been watching Berries baseball on FloCollege.